If you desire a mystery that is darker, one that challenges the very fabric of human understanding, I shall guide you to a story that exists beyond the realm of common sense, a story that even time itself cannot erase. Prepare yourself for the tale of the man from Taured. It began on a hot summer day in 1954 at Haneda Airport in Tokyo, Japan. A flight from Europe had just landed. Passengers began to file through customs. Among them was a man who looked no different from any other European traveler. He had sharp features, was impeccably dressed in a suit, and his eyes held a glint of intelligence. He carried a briefcase that looked old, yet distinguished. When it was his turn, the immigration officer asked for his passport, and that is where the unanswerable riddle began. The man presented his passport with a calm demeanor, but it was not a passport from any country the officer had ever seen before. On the cover was the insignia of a nation called Taured. The officer looked at the man, baffled, turning the passport over and over. No such country existed on any map of this world. The man, in turn, seemed equally perplexed. He insisted firmly that he was from Taured and that his country had existed in Europe for over 1,000 years. When the officer asked him to pinpoint Taured's location on a world map, the man pointed to the region occupied by Andorra, the tiny nation nestled between France and Spain. He looked at the map with confusion and a hint of anger. "This is not Taured. My Taured is here," he proclaimed, insisting his nation had thrived for centuries as a prosperous kingdom of commerce with its own long history and language, though he was also fluent in French, German, and Japanese. The immigration officers became uneasy. They suspected he might be a criminal, a sophisticated con artist, or perhaps mentally unwell. But the man had a wallet full of various currencies, French francs, German marks, and Japanese yen. He possessed a driver's license issued by the country of Taured, traveler's checks from a bank no one had ever heard of, and business documents stating that he was in Tokyo to meet with a specific Japanese corporation. When the officers contacted that company, they confirmed that they knew the man and were in fact expecting him for a business meeting. The mystery deepened. The authorities decided to detain the man overnight in a hotel room near the airport with 2 police officers stationed outside his door. They confiscated his briefcase, locking it away in the airport's secure vault for further investigation the next morning. But then, on that next morning, when the officers entered the hotel room, the man had mysteriously vanished. The room had been locked from the inside. There was no other exit. The window was high above the ground with no balcony. The 2 police officers guarding the only door all night had seen nothing, heard nothing. And what was even more impossible, his briefcase, which had been locked deep within the airport's security vault, had also vanished. No trace, no witness, no explanation. No one ever heard of the country of Taured again. No one ever saw the man again. It was as if he had not come from this world, but had slipped in from another dimension, a dimension where Taured was a real country, where history and geography had unfolded differently from our own. The man from Taured became a legend, a story that challenges the limits of our understanding, a reminder that the universe we inhabit may be far more complex, with hidden dimensions far beyond our imagination. And perhaps, even as you read this, someone else from another reality is lost in our world, holding a passport from a country that does not exist, and desperately searching for a way back to a home that is not here, in our